So I may or may not be driving right now, but the traffic's really slow and my eyes are on the road, kind of. And so I was like, dude, I have an hour to kill. What should I do before I get to San Francisco? And I figured I would tell you guys the story of how I started streaming, and we'll call it a car talk. You know, people do like pillow talk and everything. Well, we'll do a car talk. I don't know if that's a thing, but if it's not a thing, I'm making it a thing. So we're gonna do a car talk, and I'm gonna talk about the story of how I began streaming. It's kind of like you guys are in the car with me, but you're not. But you know, like nobody's with me. I feel kind of lonely. No, actually, I feel fine. But yeah, it's like you guys are in the car with me, and I'm just telling you a story while I drive, which I do with a lot of friends anyway. So anyway, yeah. So this is a question I get asked a lot. Hey Leslie, how'd you start streaming? And the way I started streaming is it's a funny story. Rewind to 2014. I had just graduated from UC Irvine. Zot zot! And I was a biology major. I did a bunch of career paths when I was in college. I entered as public health. I wanted to do nursing eventually, but then I decided to switch into biology and do pre-med, then pre-vet. My plan was originally to graduate, take a year off, and then go to grad school. And in that year off, I'd be applying for schools. I'd be, you know, maybe taking small little jobs. And my original plan was, after 2014, was to go home, move directly from Irvine to NorCal, where I am right now, be at home and get some tutoring in and apply for a temp job while I applied for grad school. I ended up joining this program called SPOP, Student Parent Orientation Program, at UC Irvine, and that program was amazing. It was one of the best summers of my entire life. I met some of the most amazing people I think I'll ever meet, and just really great people all around. If you're watching this video and you're from SPOP, let's hang out. I miss you guys. Anyways, I'm not a very good storyteller. It was kind of on a last minute decision to apply for this program. I actually wouldn't have applied for this program if I didn't see my friend's status. She uploaded a status saying she was going to be applying for SPOP, and I was in the middle of kind of getting over a breakup, and it was a rough time for me. I've been joining a tutoring program and an a cappella group, and I just was trying to distract myself from the breakup. And so I was like, hey, why don't I apply for SPOP? SPOP seems like a really fun thing, and I just never thought, you know, I would get in, but I was like, I'll try anyway. So I decided to apply for SPOP. I did, and I got in. And so SPOP really took place after I graduated. It was that summer, and it was a bunch of staffers. Basically, we were the staffers, and we introduced all the incoming UCI freshmen to UCI, and it was a really fun experience, and we bonded a lot with each other. There was 150 of us, and it was amazing. Anyways, one of those very amazing people, his name was Raymond, and initially I didn't hang out with him. I think I met him somewhere near the end of the summer, and we had a mutual friend in the program named Matt, and I guess through that we just started realizing we clicked really well, and we hung out all the time, and he became one of my best friends in the program and just in general. And then so come SPOP closing, right, I'm supposed to move back home. So basically I had postponed my move back home. I was like, oh, I need to stay in Irvine for SPOP. And so after SPOP was over, that's when I was supposed to move back home to NorCal. While we were at closing, or on that the last couple weeks of SPOP, I just had this realization, man, I don't want to leave these people. I really love them. They're really great people, and I really wanted to stay, but I didn't have any roommates, I didn't have any plans. So I remember at closing, I went up to Raymond, and he was looking at housing for some reason, and I was jokingly hey, we should live together. And he's like, wait, really? Because we're kind of I'm down for another roommate. I just have 2 roommates, we don't really have a place. And I was like, wait, really? And so kind of from there it went from wait, we might move in together, and then we just started looking up places and that had 4 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms or something like that. And from there we decided to move in together. And so yeah, that's how I met Raymond and became Raymond's roommate. Some of you might have heard me talk about my roommates Raymond, Billy, and Alex. Those were my 3 roommates last year before Kimmy. And so we all moved in together, and I didn't play video games much at this time, but we would Skype all the time, and Raymond would be always so distracted, and I was like, what are you doing? Why are you not looking at the camera? Like, why are you not paying attention to me? And he's like, oh, sorry, I'm just playing a game. And I was like, what game are you playing? He's like, oh, League of Legends. And I was like, League of Legends? Like, I've heard of this game. I was like, should I download it? He's like, I mean, if you want. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to download it. So I downloaded League of Legends. I went to leagueoflegends.com. I remember exactly where I was sitting when all of this happened. It was in my living room. And I didn't really play it because I didn't have too much time. I was going on a family trip to Europe right after that. And so, but when I came back from Europe, I moved in to Irvine with my 3 new roommates, and they all played League, and so I started playing League a lot, and I got really into it, like obsessed with League. I would play it all the time. If I could, like, if I didn't have plans, I would just wake up, play League, go to work or whatever I had, and then come back and play League. And all my friends were like, dude, why are you playing League so much? And I was like, man, this is just really fun. Like, it's really fun. I started to look up videos and how to get better, practicing my CSing and learning all the new champions. I played support. I remember I played Leona a lot. 25 miles. All right, cool. So then, a couple months later, I think around January, my roommate Alex, I remember him saying like Leslie, you should stream on Twitch. And I was like, wait, what's Twitch? And I had no idea. I didn't even know there was like a streaming community out there. And he's like, yeah, like it's like you have a good personality for it. Like you'd be fun. I don't know. You should go try and stream. And so I was like, maybe, I don't know. And so I didn't really look into it. I remember I was a big fan of like the pro scene. I liked CLG a lot, and I was like always watching Double Lift and Afro Moo, and I thought like Afro is the reason I actually started playing Leona, because he had that one video, support is so easy, and that thing, like I would watch it every single day. I thought the video was hilarious. It actually is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. So then one day, actually I do remember the exact day, February 21st of 2015, which is over a year and a half ago. My roommates were all gone. They all went home, and it was just me in the apartment. And I remember trying to cook, and I miserably failed at cooking that day. But after that, I was like, you know what? I want to do something kind of productive today. And I knew it wasn't going to be something like plan out your calendar or clean your room. It was something like new, productive. So I decided to go to my laptop, and I started streaming on a MacBook. I know, done goofed. Anyway, so I went on my MacBook, and I went to Twitch, and I was like, how to start streaming? And so I went on OBS, I downloaded OBS, and I figured out how to get my first stream going, and I streamed, and I think I got like 21 followers or something, my first live stream, and some of you are still there. Stan, shout out to you, and Kenji, thanks for being there since day one. And I remember specifically this one comment that was like, that awkward moment when it's your first stream, and I was like, oh. Yeah, anyway, so the whole stream was awkward and really laggy and whatnot, but I kept going live, and people would help me out a lot. You guys were like, all right, stop doing this, maybe build your own PC, blah, blah, blah. And so the growth was really slow, and I wasn't really expecting much out of it, honestly. I was just like, hey, like, let's do this, and going live, and I remember getting my first donation. I was like, wait, someone actually wants to support me? Like, what? And it blew my mind, and I had so much fun with streaming. It was crazy. And so I really started taking it seriously later in June and July of last year. But initially I was kind of like, you know, streaming a couple hours a week. I didn't really stream at all in March. And I guess it started taking off in June and July for me. I started streaming a lot. And then by August, September, I was thinking like, wow, like my viewership is growing and my community is growing. Maybe I could get partnered. But I was supposed to start graduate school at this time at UCLA. And I actually ended up attending UCLA. I moved to LA with Kimmy. I met her through all of this. And we moved into LA together, and I was supposed to start school. She was going to get a job. And for both of us, we both realized, for me, I ended up getting into a car crash on the way to school. You can see like one of my vlogs. I'll put it somewhere, and you can watch that. And how I was back in October after I got into this car crash, and eventually I decided to drop out of graduate school and pursue full-time streaming. And so that's where I am right now. I'm pursuing full-time streaming, and it's very much ups and downs. It's crazy how much streaming has affected me and whatnot. and how much it changes your perspective and what being a streamer is really like. But yeah, so that is the story of how I started streaming. That's like the extended version. I usually just say, oh, I lived with 3 guys, one of them played a lot of games, and then he introduced me to streaming, and then I started, and that's it. Now here I am. But that's kind of the extended version, from college to now. I hope you guys liked it. I kind of like this whole car video series. Maybe I'll do more of them, more car talks with you guys. You know, I don't know, maybe you guys thought it was lame. Well, if you didn't think it was lame, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace out guys, see you later, thanks for watching. Alright, I hope I don't die here. Okay, bye.